Shalom everyone, it's your boy PT.7. This is Esau part 7, at least a snippet of it, and we're going to deal with that word red.
So as we get into this third phase of who is Esau, right, proving that Esau is not the so-called white man, we're going to pick back up at Genesis 25 verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, the rumor is, I call it a rumor, that because he came out red, he's a so-called white man. But before I deal with that word, let's deal with his hairiness, right? Because they say, oh, well, they say he's hairy. Well, they got to be the so-called white man. So let's get a precept to show you even an Israelite was hairy. So that doesn't make him the white man because he's hairy or because it says he's hairy. All right. 2 Kings chapter 1 verse 8. And they answered him, he was a hairy man and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, it is Elijah the Tishbite. Now you see Elijah in the story, he was called a hairy man. He was an Israelite. So does that make him a white man? No, it doesn't. But this is the dummy doctrines that are coming from these camps. They're teaching you how to be more ignorant than we were already before we were asleep. You see that? We woke up to become more dumb following these camp doctrines. All right, so you see, Elijah, he was a hairy man just like Esau, and Elijah was an Israelite. Killing that doctrine, oh, he was hairy. Who else is hairy? The so-called white man. That's dumb. Now, let's deal with that word red. Let's deal with that word red. But before we deal with it, I just want to show you how these camp leaders teach and they deceive you. Then we're going to pick back up.
25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
So the first boy came out red. The blood was just showing all through his skin.
Really? The blood was just showing through his skin? Really? You're just going to sit up there and just say that like that was just true? And they're just sitting there believing this crap.
And they called his name Esau. Esau means wasted away. When you get the, there's only one book I seen the meaning, and that was which I don't subscribe to, this book, which I don't subscribe to, this book, which I don't subscribe to, this book. But there's some good and there's a lot of bones in it. Ben Yehuda's Hebrew, English, Hebrew dictionary. Hebrew, English, Hebrew dictionary. Hebrew, English, Hebrew dictionary. Which I don't subscribe to, this book. But the name there, proper name, was supposed to be Ishashwa, which means wasted away. But when you look into the Torah, Esau changed a lot of the names. That's why a lot of y'all, when y'all be looking up Adam, if you look up the Hebrew word for Adam and the Hebrew word for Edom, they got the same name up in there. Esau went in there and did a lot of mess up. That's why I tell y'all, you can look it up, but don't get confused.
So now this guy says he came out red because the blood showed through his skin. Now he just straight lied on the Most High. The Most High said, do not add to his word. But he just said he came out red because the blood showed through his skin. Now that's not in the scriptures. He's telling you that, basically saying that's the white man, putting the thought in your mind, putting that idea in your mind, and you believe it. Then he says, oh, it comes from a book that he doesn't even really subscribe to. Well, what book is that? Then he gives you the name, but he says he doesn't subscribe to the book. So now it leaves you in confusion. So how are we supposed to believe that Esau is the white man? Like you're saying. Because it's not in the scriptures. The Father never said, oh, because his blood shows through his skin, that's why he's a so-called white man. And then he says, oh, when you look up the word Adam and Edom, it's similar or whatever, because Esau went in there and changed up a couple of names. So again, now he's theorizing and basically, again, lying and telling you that the white man is Esau and he's the one that went in there and changed up the names. I mean, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. He added to the Most High's word, saying his blood showed through his skin. Then he's telling you a name for it from some book that he doesn't even subscribe to. I mean, do you see what's really going on here? But let's continue.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
So when y'all are explaining this, you want to let the reader know, or the person you're teaching, they did not mention Jacob's color. Jacob's color is not mentioned because Jacob looked like everybody else on the planet.
Did this guy just show a picture of a brown-skinned baby that looks red? This guy is nuts. And he didn't see it. This guy who's your leader? I mean, this is really weird. Wow.
They mentioned Esau's color in verse 25 because he was different. Esau is Cain coming back in the earth again, not paying for his crimes.
Now this dude is a huge liar. Okay, as they further read in the scriptures about Jacob taking hold of Esau's heel, then now here comes the indoctrination. Here comes the deception on you now, because now he's training you how to go out and teach and say, well, when you're out there teaching, just say that basically Jacob wasn't described because he looked like everyone else, but they only described Esau because he was different. Now that's not even true. That's not even true, but I'm gonna break it down about this word red, and I'm gonna bring out the scriptures to connect on why they didn't mention Jacob's color. Because remember, Jacob was a twin. I explained that to you guys. He was a twin to Esau. Okay, and I explained what that word meant as far as manner. Okay, the two manner of people. I explained that had nothing to do with ethnicity. Okay, just to add to that it had nothing to do with ethnicity. Let's confirm it again about this two manner of people. Jasher chapter 26 verse 17. And the boys grew up to their 15th year, and they came amongst the society of men. Esau was a designing and deceitful man and an expert hunter in the field. And Jacob was a man perfect and wise, dwelling in tents. You see, this is the two manner of people. It had nothing to do with ethnicity. Dummy doctrines. So now we're going to bring this out to show you these people are lying, and they're teaching you how to lie. Let's get into it. So now I'm going to get into some scriptures. Then I'm going to get into some scholastic sources to make everything make sense. So we're going to start with the scriptures to make sense first with the word, to bring it back full circle so you can understand once again why Jacob's color was not mentioned, and then we're going to get into that word red. So let's start here, because color is actually mentioned in the beginning of the book. Okay, it deals with color. Okay, Genesis chapter 2 verse 7. This is all going to make sense. And the Most High Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So we know the Most High formed man from the dirt. The dirt. Okay, this is deep to understand. But let's get a precept to confirm this. Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and 1. The Most High created man of the earth. You see that? of the earth, confirming Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, and turned him into it again. So we know we're dealing with the earth. The Most High formed man from the earth. Now, let's get a precept to make it all make sense. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. Let's see what Solomon said now. I myself also am a mortal man like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. Of the earth. So again, Solomon is confirming that he is made just like the first man made of the earth, which was Adam. You see that? Follow me now. Follow me now. So this Solomon was made just like Adam. Now he's confirming that. So now let's get another precept and look at Solomon's father, King David. And let's see what they say about him to make it all make sense. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 42. And when the Philistines looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. So, they use the word ruddy now to describe King David. Okay, ruddy. Now, that word ruddy, just to let you know, actually means red. It actually means red when you look it up. How can I teach that to anybody or explain to anybody what that word means? If I read the passage and they say, well, Mr. G Dash, what does the word ruddy mean? Then I would have to show them and explain it either in a book, the Hebrew, some way, and show them that, listen, this means red. So now you see Adam, made of the earth. Solomon said he was made like Adam. And we see Solomon's father being called ruddy or red. Okay, but now we're going to go into the book of Josephus to confirm all these things. All right. Back in this book, Josephus, to confirm and prove all things. I'm going to go to page 29. You see here, dealing with Adam. As you see, this man was called Adam, which in the Hebrew tongue signifies one that is red, because he was formed out of red earth. You see, Adam was red, just like Esau was. Okay, just like Esau. Well, let's confirm it here, over here, page 52. Okay. But Esau departed from the city of Hebron and left it to his brother and dwelt in Seir and ruled over Idumea. He called the country by that name from himself, for he was named Edom. See that? Edom was named Edom. If you jump over here, for the Hebrews call what is red Edom, just like Adam. And this was the name given to his country. You see that? They were both red, Adam and Edom. And we know Adam is a dark-skinned man. Science even tell you that.
A new portrait of the common ancestor of every man today. Adam. Without the skull, we can't know for sure what Adam looked like. But a combination of genetic evidence, Bender's forensic skills, and cutting-edge computer software suggest he looked something like this. Thousands of years after the Bible, and hundreds of years after Michelangelo, we have a whole new face for Adam.
Let's go here in this book just to confirm it. All right, Zonovan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Adam, okay, of the ground or taken out of red earth. Okay, Adam. Confirm it again here in the ancient black Hebrews and Arabs. Okay, We go to page 26. It should come as little surprise that the original Hebrew word Adam, like I just showed you, red, related to Adamah, earth. So presumably red like earth was not a reference to a pinkish color like the white man that they're calling. It would be more accurate to say reddish brown. This does not support white and ruddy, but supports dark. Okay, so we confirmed it right here in this book. Let's keep it going. If we go into the Strong's exhaustive concordance of the Bible, right, to get the Hebrew, let's go here. Adam, 19, ruddy, basically red, ruddy, Adam. Adam, red, ruddy, meaning the same thing. See, Edom, 23. Connecting with back to 22. Edom, 22. 22, red, ruddy. The word red, okay? Admoni, reddish, of the hair or complexion. Red, ruddy. It means the same thing. Red, ruddy. Edom, connect to Adam, red, ruddy. Back to Adam, ruddy. They all were red. It means red. The word ruddy and red mean the same thing. Ruddy and red mean the same thing. Edom, okay? That red is telling you it connects with 22. Adam, red, ruddy, just like Adam was ruddy, confirming what we saw in Josephus, confirming what we read in the scriptures about Adam being made of the earth. Okay, we know that was red. He was red. Solomon said he was like the first man made of the earth, who was red. And then his father, King David, he was ruddy. He was ruddy, meaning red. They were all the same color. Esau was not the white man. They were of color. Right here in the books. Now, let's go here. Sarcophagus of an Ancient Civilization. This is a newer version here, but this is the older version book right here I got from the library. All right, this book was printed in 1930. They been knew who Esau was. Okay, but I just want to show you here, back it up here, page 305. Okay, Esau was red. That is ruddy and hairy. Okay, shaggy. Look up that word too. Okay, so as you see here, ruddy, just like in all the other books that I showed you. And we're going to go into this older version. Now I'm showing you here. You see, he was red. That is ruddy. Why? Because they understand what that word meant. Okay, which would be the same for Jacob, because they were twins. Again, they were twins. So you see, they know what the word means. It's in the Strong Concordance, which gives you the Hebrew. Okay, it's in here. It's in these books, and there's more. Now we're about to go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary that all these Hebrew Israelites use. They all use this book, and this book is going to destroy their own doctrine. Again, we dealing with that word red. So now, as you see that word red, a blood-like or blood red color, the objective word is applied to the following items. So they give you one example. Then if you look down at example 2, the color of certain animals, they give you the scriptures also. Now, if we look at example 3, which is pertaining to Esau, example 3 says the color of human skin. They give you the scriptures, Genesis 25 verse 25, and then they also give you 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 12. And if we go look at that, right, 1 Samuel chapter 16, see verse 12, and he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy Again, referring to that word, this was dealing with King David, proving what they're saying here about this human skin. It was related to Esau and King David. So this is what they're showing you here. But let's prove it also. They have it here in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. The same thing. Okay, they give you different examples for the word red. And then they give you example 3, which is the color of human skin. Genesis 25, verse 25, 1 Samuel 16 and 12, pertaining to that word ruddy. Ruddy and red is the same thing. So they didn't have to say, so they didn't have to mention Jacob's color because he was a twin to Esau. Remember, Esau came out first. He came out red. Red meaning ruddy. Okay, Hebrewisms of West Africa. Okay, you got to get these sources to shut these dummy doctrines down. Let's go here. Page 258. The Phoenicians, as we have seen, were named by the Greeks the red people. Okay, so these Hamites, they were named the red people by the Greeks. By the Greeks. You see that? Red Confederation. The Phoenicians, they were called the red people by the Greeks. And you will learn further as I go on in this lesson that the Greeks were the ones giving out the names. Okay? So again, we're proving, this was talking about the Africans. All right? That word red was not talking about a so-called white man, as we've proven over and over and over. Again, as we continue to murder the lies of these false teachers. Back in another book that you can get, Africans and Native Americans, the language of race and the evolution of red, black peoples. Okay, if we look at a piece from this, thus by late 1494 there was in Lesbon, Prestos or Negros, blacks, non-whites, I'll say it again, blacks, non-whites of various colors, including reddish or copper colored people. Again, including reddish or copper colored people. Now we know Esau came out red, okay? Admoni, reddish of the hair or of the complexion, ruddy, same thing, because these were dark-skinned people from that area, okay? They understand that quite clear. Everybody understand this, except these false teachers. We continue the murder session.
If you would like to watch the rest of this video, this lesson is about 9 hours long. It is up in my online school. Hit the link in the description below. On that note, peace and shalom.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.